Let's see. Surely. Yes, bro. Yes. Okay. Thunder is Omega broadside. And that should be actually pretty flat dispersion. Wow, we're getting damage. Broadside Missouri should take some damage in theory. Get to a next heal. He does. He does, actually. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're playing a ship that I said I would never play again. Kronshtadt is a tier 9 heavy cruiser, battle cruiser. You get 305mm main guns with battleship dispersion table. This is why I did not want to play it last time after playing a ship request, but against perhaps my better judgment, we are going to play Kronshtadt today. Thanks to Outnumbered buff. 10% better dispersion. I had a good time playing Puerto Rico as it was returning for Black Friday with Outnumbered. I think that was the only reason I had a good time with that one. Also, a battle cruiser with battleship dispersion table. However, this one has 2.05 sigma, which is the tendency for those shells to go towards the center of your dispersion ellipse. And I believe Puerto Rico is 2.2 sigma, so even a little bit better. This one, though, is at tier 9. Puerto Rico is at tier 10. We have a 12-kilometer radar here. In a recent video, I forgot completely that Kronshtadt had a 12-kilometer radar. Perhaps I've just blocked this ship from my memory. Oh, man. This is going to be a tough one. Hopefully it goes well. Here's the build that I will be running here. We're trying to buff the radar duration as much as I can, as that is great utility for our team. And here's the commander build. We might swap it around a little bit, but 18.2 kilometers of range is fine. I like the idea of eye in the sky, though, so we'll see how that goes. Terrible AA. Okay detect, 12.7 with 12-kilometer radar. Makes sense why we don't want stealth radars in this game. We're reasonably quick, though. Not the greatest turning circle radius, and rudder shift, though, unfortunately. Also unfortunate is the armor scheme. 27 everywhere on a giant cruiser like this one. Not very maneuverable, means overmatch is going to be a big problem for us. Not a very tanky ship at all. And our citadel is actually waterline here. A very weird shape here, front and back. A little bit of overmatch on the deck armor as well of that citadel. It's a weird citadel. I expect to eat some citadels if we get caught any sort of broadside. Most likely we're going to play a lot of bow in on islands. Let's see how it goes today. Hopefully it goes better than last time. Outnumbered, save me. As always with ship request, I forgot. What am I doing? I've done so many of these. As always with ship requests, make sure you comment down below whatever you want to see next time. Most upvoted, that is what we will be playing. I can't believe I forgot to do that. What am I doing? Onwards to the games. So here's the thing with trying to take advantage of Outnumbered. We need to go to a flank, right? The whole concept is that there's more enemy ships within our firing range than friendly ships. And to do that, well, spawning on the flank is a good start. I would consider going to an island like this one here, this one, to get radar on the cap, right? 12-kilometer radar is super useful in that regard. I am caught broadside with a bad turning circle radius. Hopefully that's fine. But we're going to go to the flank just because we need to try and see what these guns are capable of outside of just battleship dispersion. I think they're relatively quick shells, though. Oh my goodness, Sejong is here. Okay, as well as Thunder. I whiffed on the DD. Fortunately, our reload is actually quite good, 16.3. I have a GK here with us, and Thunder on this flank is going to be a little awkward, I would say. Let's try there. A little bit awkward to shoot over the island, trying to use mini-map aiming. How'd we do? Little high, over pens. So we don't have short fuses. We don't have improved pen angles either. So if we're used to things like Hawaii or things like Puerto Rico, we don't have that. Broadside Carnot, however, does not actually take damage. Wow. Forward firing angles are really good, by the way. Maybe I'm aiming too high. Let's aim a little lower this time. No Outnumbered buffs for us, unfortunately. Thunder is shooting at us now, as is Carnot. I am over pushing. So what are we going to do about it? We are going to eat a double fire and perhaps turn. I can't believe this Carnot is not taking citadels, by the way. Let's see. Surely. Yes, bro. Yes. Okay. Kronshtadt. It's great. It's the best ship in the game. Anybody who says they will never play it again is wrong, okay? Don't listen to anybody who would say that. Bro, we don't even have Outnumbered. That's insane. All right, we'll take it. Good call on turning around. Another 12k. It's busted. It's busted. It's busted. It's busted. No wonder they removed it. Right, you can't get this one anymore. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Enough trolling one way or the other. That is crazy, though. This is Battleship Dispersion somehow. Sejong goes down. All right, do we get Carnot? We do. Huge. Okay, so we can actually turn in now. Without Outnumbered, and it still looked pretty good, man. It still looked pretty good. We will take that gladly. Now, what do we do? Do we push enemy spawn, or do we come back to the side of the map? It's legitimately difficult. I always am telling you guys to not push spawns, because if you push spawns, like if I push out here, well, Schlieffen, Iwami, Yoshino, these guys, they just crossfire you. Like if you start pushing this way. Fortunately, in this case, they don't have anyone back here. We've managed to finish them all off. But imagine you push here, someone's out here, and then all the enemy team is around here. You're just caught in a crossfire. That's why you don't want to push spawns, right? It's just that everybody that's on the other flank just can suddenly shoot at your broadside. However, in this case, I don't think they're pushing through this side. So if we come and support this flank, we're just going to run into the game being over, probably. So I'm actually considering pushing this flank, or at the very least, you know, gonna push up into here, right, where there's island cover. We can get shots here, but not expose myself to this flank. The key is to not push out of this gap. Oh, a little low. That could have been hype. That could have been really hype. Spotter plane coming in clutch, I would say, for the extra range. What do we get to? 21.8. That's respectable. That's respectable. Let's use our heal. 25-degree forward angles, man, is really nice. The problem is 27 mil deck armor, 27 mil. Wow, those shells get there quick. 27 mil upper belt, so that overmatch is certainly a problem. We're going to have to think about this Marceau now as well. If he starts pushing out, if he tries to go dark, anything like that, we will want to radar him. Still haven't made use of that 12-kilometer radar, but it is excellent. Absolutely excellent. And I don't think we get a shot quite yet. Maybe if he turns this way? Yeah. HE time. Let's see what we do. Only one hit, unfortunately. Our team has decent shots on us on him right now. So normally you want to wait on your radar until you have shots again. That way you're maximizing your uptime on the destroyer. Oh, wow. We just missed everything. We splashed all around him. We gave him the car wash. The old PQ car wash. Unfortunate, but our team is doing good work, right? That's the value of taking the extra duration on this consumable. Now it runs out. Now he goes dark. But our team did enough damage that we can finish him off. Oh my goodness, these shells. At least we got the broadside citadels. And Manteuffel fire finishes them off. Great, great. I was worried there for a second. Oh, it's actually a cyclone. Another reason you can sometimes push spawns is cyclones, by the way. But because it limits the crossfire. The reason you don't push spawn is crossfire. You just get caught in a crossfire, right? In this case, I don't want to push out yet, but there's potential for when we have this cyclone fully come through. Yoshinos are interesting. The thing we'll also want to look into is our Colombo and GK might push middle, and that takes a lot of focus from the enemy team, right? So we don't want to be the primary point of contact. What we want to do is be kind of that supporting flanking ship, battle cruiser wise. We're not tanky enough to be that main point man that a battleship could be, but we are absolutely devastating into some of these broadsides. Yeah, that is Battleship Dispersion. That is definitely Battleship Dispersion. Wow. Even Azuma overmatches us, so we got to be a little careful with that. But you see, chilling in a spot like this applies a lot of good pressure. That's better dispersion. Wow, that's much better dispersion, in fact. Let's go there. And then maybe turn in a little bit. So Cyclone is getting there. 25 kilometers. So the idea is we can maybe start pushing to this spot because Izumo is in his kited position now. And he's going to be far enough away that I don't think we're going to have to worry about him too much soon. Okay, timing this stuff is hard. All right, as soon as we come around this corner, Izumo, Thunderer, Iwami, everybody starts to be able to shoot at us. But you see how this Cyclone is coming through? We're timing this pretty well, I would say. Now we can start to think about turning in here because Izumo no longer has good shots on us. Thunderer, we're going to be angled to. We're going to push around this corner to hopefully catch this Yoshino. Humphreys as well. Schlieffen is far enough away. Iwami is coming back, but on a similar angle to Thunderer. So we're looking good to actually push this. Yeah, we also have 12 kilometers. Oh, the torpedoes. Hello. Scary stuff. We'll take that kill. Perhaps I should have gone after Humphreys. Very nice, though, that we have this little island to block torpedoes. Yes, Mr. Humphreys, you have a smoke screen. However, we have a GK Hydra. That didn't finish him off. Wow. Okay, actually, Yoshi Corpse is blocking those torpedoes. Unfortunately, our GK just walks right into them. Is what it is. Thunder is Omega Broadside. And that should be actually pretty flat dispersion. Wow, we're getting damage! Kronstadt's giving us damage, guys! Broadsides are taking big hits. All right. We take some damage there. That's okay. Fortunately, he didn't get the citadels. Being able to stay at a 25-degree angle is absolutely massive. Now, I'm going to stop, okay? I'm not going to chase because Iwami might be on his way back. We don't want to get caught in this. We want Thunder to leave 8 kilometers so we don't have to deal with 2 ships at once, right? Thunderer got his last salvo on us. That's fine. But now, at best, he's going to be mini-map shooting at us, right? So he's not going to have lock-on dispersion. So it's going to be less likely that he actually gets the massive hit into us. And in fact, I am going to radar just because I want to see where everyone is at. Sometimes it's really important to know that Izumo is coming back on your flank, right? Things like this. We don't want to get too overwhelmed. We are getting outnumbered buff now. And you see how the Izumo is on our broadside right now. That's pretty tough. I am going to rep that because I want my turrets. I do want my turrets. Our Hawaii's coming in. Our Manteufel's coming in. So 24 degrees. That's not quite enough. That's not quite enough. I'm going to be patient because we do have some HP to tank for a little bit here. And crucially, yeah, Izumo's going to be broadside onto us. We're on AP right now, so I want to be catching someone who goes too broadside, like you. Actually, like you. He's got torps. His guns are scarier. I wasted my shot. I wasted my shot. What am I doing? What am I doing, bro? No fire prevention. You notice how I started saying that before his HE shells even landed? I know this game. I know how this game works. No fire prevention on these battle cruisers is quite something, I gotta say. It would be so lovely to have fire prevention back on these battle cruisers, man. It's such a shame that they removed it. Okay, now he's going broadside. We get overpens still on his broadside. That is such a shame. All right, let's greed repair that and hope we don't get lit on a fire from like Izumo secondaries for some reason. Oh my goodness, we get lit on fire and stuff from Izumo secondaries, brother. This RNG is insane. I think I died to that actually. Okay, 145, 5 citadels. It's decent. It's a decent game. It is actually better than I was expecting it would go. And I think we had oh, we have the busted commander. What was I worried about? What was I worried about, bro? When you're playing a Soviet ship, you get koozie. Yes. Yes, bro. I totally forgot, man. It's been a while since I've played a Soviet ship, I guess, and wow. He's busted, by the way. Easily the best commander. Sure, other ones buff your damage output, but the ability to just, yeah, I don't die when I'm on low HP to fires, and I don't die because I get an extra heal, is wild. That is insane utility, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right, Republic got him. Nice. Good first match. Good first match. I am very pleasantly surprised by that. Maybe we're going to have a good day. Maybe I get to have fun playing World of Warships, even a ship that I traditionally have not enjoyed. Maybe we're going to get lucky. Yeah, good first start. Very good first start. AP, Dispersion, working for the most part. You'll love to see it. Very nice. We spawn on the flank yet again, and we get Tier 9 Matchmaker this time. Oh, yes. This could be another really good one. Arms race this time. Our Schultz has already signaled he's going for the buff. He can't resist. Full sending, inting in. I guess we'll see how that goes. But our radar is a big support in that, right? We're pushing up to the island here. This is a very free island to get to most of the time. You know, carrier spotting usually makes that a lot harder. Also, would not recommend pushing to this flank in when there's subs in the game, because it's very easy to just die for free to submarines, unfortunately. Looks like we know Kitakazi is on the flank at this point, and that means our Schultz actually does get a free line in, although it looks like he's not using it. That's okay. Good intel. Good intel. I mean, look at how much information you get out of this 12-kilometer radar. It's kind of insane. I'm sticking with the AP. I probably should have just swapped to HE there, but we're going to stick to it for now. In fact, there's a Buki right now. Nice. Are you going to greed for your front guns? Looks like no. That is fine. We'll just stick with that for now. Lepanto as well. All right, so we'll have a Valparaiso to help us out, which is very good. Our bow he can overmatch, but the rest of our armor he cannot. Nice. Don't eat too much damage there, and we'll reverse around the corner. No problem. I think, no problem. Our Valparaiso is starting to kite away, which is concerning, certainly. Very concerning. I would hope that we get citadels, but no, we get those dreaded overpens on the Ibuki. And we're down to half health. Might actually just die here if they continue to focus on me, unfortunately. I was hoping we'd get a little more support from the Valparaiso, but that is not to be yet. 4 overpens on the broadside Ibuki. I called it. It is really frustrating, though, but I did call it. Yeah, Lepanto is just inting in for me, unfortunately. But maybe we can get behind these islands enough. Missouri also coming through. I did not expect this ship to be so squishy, I gotta say. I thought it would live quite a lot longer than this. Finally, can we get a citadel? No, we cannot. No, we cannot. Very unfortunate. But we have managed to reverse to some safety here. Our Valparaiso hopefully can live for quite a while, ideally. But yeah, this is a pretty poor showing from Kronshtadt. I'm glad we had that first game, though. I don't want to just rag on these ships, but, you know, you see our team as well. We're just auto-losing this flank. It appears we're also auto-losing the flank I am on as well. Unfortunately, we have not had really any battle impact in this one, so perhaps it's my fault as well, but I would call it unfortunate dispersion is probably the reason that we haven't had really any battle impact here. I would say that most of the time that Ibuki should be dead already. And that would help things out a lot. And we have good shell velocity, which means we can't actually arc over a lot of these islands, right? Like even here. Maybe we can get a little bit. Okay, we can get a little bit there. That's good. Not a lot of damage, but we at least got a little bit of hits in. We're starting to do something again. Okay, our Lepanto, our team's coming back maybe. But it is a Valparaiso pushing here. We talked about this the other day. You just have to run from it. It's kind of crazy. Okay, 11k, finally. Finally a little something. Good. We're spotted from middle right now. Probably Benson. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Okay, 6k. Starting to do a little something again. We do have a Sharon. If Missouri's going to stay angled, I think we swap to the HE. Our Valparaiso died somehow. Oh, he went flat broadside. Okay, makes sense. Probably don't go flat broadside in your Valparaiso, guys. It is very tanky, but you got to keep it angled. Good fire, at least. We get a good fire there. Yeah, I'm next. Unfortunately, I am low. Hopefully we don't eat too much here. Okay, a little bit. Broadside Missouri should take some damage in theory. Get to a next heal. He does! He does, actually. Okay. It seems like cruisers are the ones that really don't take much damage from these guns, unfortunately. But we do finish off Missouri. Unfortunately, he got another shot off on us. And yeah, it's 15k. 30 upper belt, 30 deck armor would help this ship a lot, I gotta say. Or it would be also really nice to just have battle cruiser dispersion, not battleship dispersion table. Some of those inconsistencies on Ibuki are quite annoying. So we really don't want to push enemy spawns. But in this case, I think the game is just over. Our Johan's going to go down here any second, as is more than likely our Schultz as well. If he gets detected, that is. And we really just don't have much for map control. No hydro means we're going to eat actually 2 torpedoes here and die instantly. So, oh, no, it's calculated. It's calculated. It's calculated, guys. Very lucky. Okay, very, very lucky. But unfortunate on the team. Unfortunate on the guns on this one. I think this is great, though. Showing off how inconsistent this ship really is. And you really need that outnumbered buff. And wow, he's fully angled to us and we got only overpens. Interesting. Kearsarge, Valparaiso, Nagato, all these things. Overmatch. Big problem. Big problem. So how much do we eat here? Yeah, another 18k, even though we're angled. It's not good armor, right? The armor is terrible on this one. The dispersion is often not good on this one as well, I would say. You gotta be that second line ship. You gotta be someone who is not the point man, taking full focus from the enemy team, right? That's the key. Maybe we can take out this Kitakazi yet. That would be kind of neat. Get the Ichi going. Here we go. We're going to eat these torpedoes. We do get the Kitakazi at least before we go down. I'll take it. But I'm a little disappointed in the ship overall from that battle. Maybe it was just unlucky, but I do think this is a better representation of Kronshtadt. First game might have been a bit of an outlier, guys. I do not think this is a very good ship overall. Battleship dispersion, man. You know, part of it might be we're just not activating this outnumbered buff either really all that much, unfortunately. I do think, given that there's a lot of Rigas in this battle, it's worth mentioning that Riga is, I think, a lot better. Way better dispersion, similarly hard-hitting guns, but improved pen angles on those. And that ship gets better armor as well. I suppose the radar isn't quite as good because it doesn't last as long. But you still get that 12-kilometer radar, which is nice to have. Here we are going to actually wait for our reload to be up. And then we're going to use this again. Or rather, we're going to use our radar. Enemy team, our friendly Riga already did. So this gets Yugamo spotted again. Unfortunate, we only get 2 hits, and they're both overpens on the Sejong here. Might get another chance, unless our team takes him out. Nope, they don't. Sejong actually has 32 millimeters of upper belt, so you don't have as much overmatch there. Wow, it's just landing all around him. Okay, we're seeing the Kronstadt's true colors that come out. I guess we had the good luck used up on the first battle. At least we got to see a little something of Kronshtadt working out. I'm glad we did, but I do wish it was a little more consistent. Here's the thing. Kronshtadt is really old, right? This is a really old ship that was really strong when it was released, right? But the armor here, the dispersion here, it's all pretty rough, I would say. And in current day, wows. And no longer having fire prevention hurts it a lot as well. 12-kilometer radar is still very, very useful. But I think if we saw this ship released today, I do think we would see it have at least 30 upper belt and deck. And I do think we would see at least battle cruiser dispersion. So those being the 2 weaknesses that I am feeling here, makes a lot of sense as to why we see so many of these newer ships getting better results or better stats on those things. Let's see if we can't find some opportunities though. See, we're not the point man right now. Lepanto is. So this is where we want to be positioning ourselves. We don't want to be taking first point of contact. We want to be support. And I think we're going to do a lot better then as a result. Can I still get over that? I can't really. A lot of these more aggressive positions result in not having good shots on people because you don't have great... Ooh, encounter. You have too good of shell velocity. That's really what it comes down to. And that's hard because if you try and play more open water with this ship, the armor suddenly becomes a big problem, right? You do just get overmatched everywhere. And it's large, right? A lot of cruisers deal with overmatch, but a lot of them are much more maneuverable. And this one is just very, very large. So dealing with that can be tricky. Broadside Lepanto, perhaps, as an option. That's pretty good dispersion. No outnumbered on that one. 8K. Decent enough. We take it. We will take it. I don't really want to get torped out by this Pommern. Our Lepanto hasn't done as much damage as I would have thought to him. Maybe we'll take a kiting angle here. Or try to. If Riga stays broadside, I want to look for that. Oh, he's ready for us. Okay. Let's see. 18K. Very nice. And somehow we didn't take citadels there. I will take it. Lucky, perhaps. I would say very lucky. I would also say bomber dispersion is quite unfortunate. And it looks like he actually got shells go low bug, in fact. Wow, 4,000 damage on the follow-up is not good. Okay, here comes a fire already. Double fire already. Okay. Hopefully we can get some help on dealing with this battleship from our teammates. Superstructure hits. Indeed. Do pretty well. Looks like our team isn't doing so hot on this flank. So maybe we get ourselves some outnumbered buff here soon. Nice. At least Pommern's not looking at us for now. 4K. Not bad. Ah, there's a smoke here. Can we use it? I forget what our smoke fire is. 12.8. Not amazing. Yeah, not amazing. 30-degree kiting angles, though, are really nice. Not that I'm using them right here, but can get them. Okay, he should go down. Good. Very good. We managed to live, and we did some damage. We did some decent damage, too. Enemy Riga is rather broadside, I would say. 2 broadside, perhaps. Let's see if our dispersion can give us anything. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Okay. We can get some decent salvos out of this thing. It feels a little bit RNG based. It feels very RNG based, in fact. Unless you're shooting at DDs, because DDs just give you better dispersion somehow. Very funny, that interaction. But, okay, we'll take this. We will gladly take this. Oh, I think I just barely got the outnumbered buff on that shot. You can tell the difference right away. Looks great. 5 overfence. Fine. 100K. We've broken that. Good. We have a better game again. And now I do think we can turn in, although we'll just kind of go around this island for now. Team is doing okay on the other side, it looks like. I really think a large reason as to why this one went better than last one is I just wasn't the point man. I really think it is as simple as that, where if you are the first point of contact, people just tend to focus you down. And I think that's what happened last battle, because they pushed around the corner and I was the first one there. And if I'd been a little more patient, perhaps, or maybe a kited angle on that side would have been interesting, as they would have pushed around that angle and been forced to angle to me on the flank, or the people on the islands, perhaps, as well. Could have been worth checking if that works a little better, but considering the maneuverability in the armor, we just have to not be the first point of contact, I think. Pretty basic, but it is how cruisers are these days. Overall, we have been having some pretty decent matches. Okay, Unicum was actually outside of our radar range. Totally fine. Just wanted to check. We don't have hydro here, so don't want to eat those torpedoes for free. 100K is fine. Not particularly impressive, though, I would say, given the amount of hits we've had. 70 hits for 100K is not great. It's okay. It's okay. Our first game was our outlier battle, where the guns performed really well, and we had good opportunities as too. I guess that's another thing we should talk about as well, is sometimes you just don't have the opportunities for a ship to shine, like to really show off how good a ship can be. And that's just up to matchmaker, right? We all get good games, we all get bad games, and sometimes it's blowouts, sometimes it's carrier sub, that kind of thing, and other times it's just the dice doesn't roll your way, and that's okay. That's okay. It is a little bit more... it is worth talking about, though, when it comes to a ship like Kronshtadt, where you do need to get quite fortunate on the few salvos you do catch people's broadsides, right? People are not going to sit broadside forever, so when you only have one chance or a handful of chances to get your really nice salvo into their broadside, and then it doesn't follow through, it can be a little bit discouraging. That's a lot about AP, though, in general. Slower firing AP ships. And we got to remember this is also at tier 9. So for a tier 9, 74k HP, 12 kilometer radar that you can buff to last 30 seconds is very, very powerful in and of itself. So I think that's... I think it's a perfectly strong ship. It's a perfectly fine ship. But there are some of these little things that frustrate me when playing it. Even if I know it is a powerful ship. Izumo is going broadside onto the Lepanto 2 kilometers away from him and angling to us. That is a choice. This is also what I'm talking about with opportunities, right? I was trying to find the Izumo broadside because surely he's going to angle to Lepanto. Sometimes people just angle to you, even though it doesn't make sense necessarily. That's another example. Sometimes you just don't get those opportunities, I guess. But Kronshtadt, honestly, it went better than I expected. So I'm glad we got to see that. And unfortunately, really didn't get a lot of opportunities for our Outnumbered to proc on this one. That's something that I do wish we could have got a little more of, but it's hard to make that buff actually happen intentionally sometimes. I guess we also had a lot of our friendlies on the flanks we went to, and not as many of the enemies. Also consider that with the range that we have here, a lot of the friendlies that are in the middle of the map, even if we are on the flank, are within our gun range. So not the easiest one to actually activate, but make sure you comment down below. Whatever you want to see next time, most upvoted, that is what I will be playing. Fresh look at Kronshtadt went okay, I would say. It went okay. But whatever you want to see next time, most upvoted is what I will be playing. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.